While zombie popularity has somewhat peaked in recent years, people still seem to be absolutely fascinated with a zombie apocalypse scenario. From TV shows to movies and video games, everyone can't seem to get enough of reanimated corpses rising from the dead and wreaking havoc on society. Although a Hollywood-style zombie apocalypse isn't likely to happen anytime soon, some people have actually been preparing for Z-Day. These preppers, as they're commonly called, have even inspired some companies to cash out on the trend by offering zombie survival gear. One thing is for certain though, the most important factor in surviving a zombie apocalypse is, as any marketing expert would tell you, location, location, location. With that in mind, let's take a look at what city would fare the worst in a zombie apocalypse. Your first instinct would probably to think New York City, and you wouldn't be entirely wrong. New York is home to 8.5 million people, and has the highest population density of any major city in the United States, with over 27,000 people per square mile. While this definitely makes New York a terrible place to find yourself during a zombie rampage, you could do a lot worse. One reason for this is that 4 or 5 New York boroughs are on different islands. This means that if an outbreak were to happen in one borough, it would be much easier to quarantine and isolate it. New York, being a coastal city, would also facilitate an evacuation by sea. So while New York City isn't the best place to find yourself during an outbreak, it also isn't the worst. Los Angeles is probably another city that comes to mind, and rightfully so, with a population density of 8,000 per square mile and almost 4 million inhabitants. While the population density isn't near that of New York's, if you've ever been stuck in LA traffic, you know getting out of there would be a complete nightmare. Still, a recent simulation reveals that LA, while being bad, wouldn't be the worst city to be stuck in during our doomsday scenario. That city is none other than Chicago. According to a recent study by a team of scientists at Argonne National Laboratory, it would only take 60 days for Chicago to be completely overrun by zombies. While the study was originally designed to observe the effect of an outbreak of a highly contagious virus, the model was adapted to simulate a zombie apocalypse. The people of Chicago could suffer dire consequences at the hands of a zombie invasion, says Chick McCall, a senior systems engineer at Argonne. Virtually no part of the city would be spared. While Chicago's population density isn't nearly as high as New York's, it's still higher than LA's at nearly 12,000 people per square mile. Added to that is the fact that Chicago is located right on Lake Michigan, and most of the major roads are concentrated in the downtown area and would be quickly congested by the millions of people trying to escape. The model predicts that over 500,000 would perish within 2 months, and the outbreak would be virtually impossible to quarantine. A study by CareerBuilder.com corroborates the model's findings, with Chicago being one of the worst metro areas to be in during a zombie apocalypse. The research was comprised of a weighting index ranking 53 US cities based on 5 different scores: defense, containment, cure, and food. The scores were established by analyzing factors such as population density, biomedical research, and supply of food, to name a few. As for the best cities to find yourself in, Salt Lake City, Utah, Columbus, Ohio, and surprisingly enough, Boston, Massachusetts were all at the top of the list. So while New York, LA, and the Windy City are wonderful places to visit, those of you who are afraid of a zombie apocalypse might want to consider settling their zombie-proof bunkers somewhere else. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like and checking out more of our previous videos. And don't forget to subscribe to Ponder for more content like this.